Good evening, viewers, and welcome to Calypso Showcase. The tune Pan in A minor is composed by the Lord Kitchener and played by ace arranger Leston Paul in a special way. And that he happens to be our special guest tonight on Calypso Showcase. Well, welcome, Leston. And perhaps we can start by talking about that classical approach to Pan in A minor. What prompted that?
But it was something spontaneous, you know. I was working out in the studio and I was kind of bored with a project that I was doing. And I decided to kill time. Let me just try something. And my brother remembered he was there and put on a reel tape. I said, let me try playing Pan in A minor in classic. And that is how it came about.
Have you ever thought of scoring it? Because I think it would be an excellent piece for, say, our symphony youth orchestra to play or something like that.
Yeah, I thought about that a lot of times. A few kids came to me one time asking me for the music scores, but I was so busy I couldn't really do the scoring for them. But what I did, I remember that I took the tape and I took all the parts, the different parts, and I put it on a separate tape.
Each part?
Yeah, each part.
But I still think that you should score it out and publish it. Well, I want to talk first of all about this new LP that you've just put out. Just this weekend, I was hearing some of the tunes on it. The title, Leston Paul For Real.
For real.
Tell me a little bit about this.
Well, we started this album after Carnival, and it have most of the tunes on it from 1995 Carnival, and the musicians from Trinidad, well, everybody basically, and I guess the public would like it, especially the cut that I did over with Tony Braxton tune, You Mean the World to Me.
Is that done in a soca style?
Exactly.
And you have what, the normal soca party mix? What are some of the tunes that you've chosen?
Well, I've chosen Marshall's tune, this band with Steve Seeley,
Breakaway.
Right, Blue Boy, Chandeliers, the Bajan part of it with
Ring Bang.
Cassandra and the Ring Bang beat. I did a house mix with that. And, well, basically what I've been hearing during the Carnival time.
How much of a demand is this type of LP now that Carnival is over?
It's in demand a lot because, well, you know, Byron Lee used to do it before, a long time. You know, and since then I started it, and Kenny Phillips also, he started doing the same thing, and people look forward to it after the Carnival. It's like getting Carnival at 95 in a package.
Tell me something about your travels. I know you spend a lot of time in and out of Trinidad. Where have you been already for the year, and where are you going to be in the next few months?
Well, for the year I've been to Aruba, I've been to St. Martin, I've been to Barbados, I've been to New York. Well, that's my second home, New York and back. And I'll be traveling extensively this year also, doing projects back and forth in different studios.
Well, our main reason for bringing Leston on the program is to look a little bit at his musical life. So we'll take a commercial break, and when we come back, we'll journey up to his studio in Champlain. Well, let's start at the very beginning. How did you get into music?
Well, it go way back, way back. As far as I could recall, I always played music. You know, since a small age, I always like beating pans. The people around Curab area would tell you, because every time you pass on 12 Bellsmine Street, no matter what time of the day or night, you must hear me either beating pan downstairs or playing makeshift drum set I used to use home, and maybe a little xylophone my aunt bought me because at that time we really couldn't afford any piano as such. So there everything really started.
What formal training do you have in music?
Well, when I was at the age of 15 years, I started to take lessons at Miss Blake, a teacher called Miss Blake, right in my same street there on Belsmai Street in Kirep. And I did theory there up to grade 6. And then I went to New York and I did some more studies with improvisation and stuff, jazz improvisation and chord changes. It was like a one-year course. And then, during that time afterwards, I came back to Trinidad and I started to arrange and stuff. But before I left, I used to work with Ben Romani. If you know Ben Cook, right, Kikumba Music Publishing Company. That was actually my first job when I left school because I came searching for some avenue that I could do music full time, and I didn't realize that it was so hard. But I had gone to PRS with some songs that I wrote, and they sent me across to Ben Romani, and then he told me about the whole music business in a nutshell, and he told me, well, it's something that you had to gradually take step by step. So he hired me as a copyist and notator. So I worked there for a while, and there I met Funny and I met Shadow. So everything kind of like took some time to where am I now.
When did you first get attracted to, let's say, the indigenous music of Trinidad and Tobago?
Well, actually, it was while I was working at Kikumba Music, because like seeing all the artists passing through, because at that time a lot of the artists had published their tunes with Kikumba Music. And Earl Rodney, I remember, he was the one that told me that I should get into arranging. At that time I wasn't arranging as yet. He told me that it has more money in arranging than just being a player. So I took it upon myself to pursue that course. And there's a guy from the police band called Willard Paul. We're not related, but I ended up playing in his band, and he gave me some books on arranging and stuff with harmonies and voicings for the various instruments. And in a week or so, I was arranging for the band.
Have you played with any local bands in the early 70s or anything like that?
Well, my parents didn't allow me to really play with any band until I left school, which it was a good. But after that, Tropical Ambassadors was one of the first bands that I played with. I had the same leader, Willard Paul. He was the leader of that band. Then I played with Majors, just gigs here and there with them. I wasn't really part of the band, but anytime they needed a keyboard player on shows and stuff, I'd play. And well, I used to do a lot of studio work at a certain time too.
Mm-hmm. Have you worked with any steel bands?
Well, actually, there was a steel band in Tenapuna. I can't remember their name right now. I did some work with them because when the school up there, and there are some guys who we used to hang out with after lunch, or not after lunch, during the lunchtime, we would like go to his house and we would like be playing and stuff, and the steel band was right next to him. So when I left school, they asked me to do some arrangements and stuff for them, and I did it in 76 or 77, I can't remember what year, the same year that Shadow had bassman. Mm-hmm. And I come out to play. Yeah, I played drums for Kirep Shazando that year.
Mm-hmm. Because that was 1974, I think.
74?
Yeah.
Okay, I was more into drums than keyboards at that time, yeah.
What would you say was the first significant tune that you did the full arrangement of?
Well, what really stuck in my mind from way back then is that Juke album called Harps of Gold, which was really a stepping stone, because I was pretty young and I was kind of shy in the sense that I found that the responsibility of doing an album was like a big whole lot of pressure on me, because at that time, Arthur Koto and Ed Watson, they was the guys around that time, you know. And Drew, he was kind of like a crazy man to come out of the blue to ask me to arrange his album, you know. So that album, it always stick in my mind as one of those works that I always appreciate and go back and always listen to it to feel me.
Watch it. They couldn't believe it's band. They tell me it's not still band. The push that I swear that they hearing a symphony.
In the stadium,
Oh gosh,
when the sun is young,
now here they say this is music. This is music. How they do it? It's very good.
play, 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 play.
If you hear them,
Hearts of gold,
could you?
hearts of gold,
Because
hearts of gold.
they say bless.
Bless my soul,
Let me hear them roll. Play them
hearts of gold.
Hey! Hey! Come on! Yes.
How do you see your career developing from there in terms of the image and the type of music that people associate with the man Leston Paul?
Well, I got to find out what is commercial music and to have a commercial ear and to do commercial arrangement, because that is something I couldn't really understand because I was into stuff like like writing for movies and stuff, you know. Mm-hmm. Is that what I wanted to do at one time? But I realized that there was something about the commercial aspect of the music that I'd love. And when I started to work with the Calypsonians like Mudada and Juke and stuff, and then I started to hear the change that the Calypso music was taking, where Shorty now came into the picture and the music was evolving into something new. Mm-hmm. You know, I always had my ear listening out on the radio for different things and trying sometimes even to emulate other arrangers because I was trying to get a space inside.
I see.
So you find that some of my arrangements had a little bit of Ed, a little bit of Adikoto, you understand? So that's about it.
Tell me something about working with someone like, say, Lord Kitchener, because I think a lot of people have felt that your working with him has brought out the best of his music. Tell me about working with the Lord Kitchener.
Well, I must say the Lord Kitchener, he's a great artist and musician as well. He has a fantastic ear. You know, like he's one of the few guys who you work with and he will actually tell you that there's a wrong note somewhere inside and there's a wrong chord that you're playing, you know. And that amazed me so much because, I mean, a lot of people didn't know Kitchener as a bass player. And sometimes when he come to my home to arrange some of his tunes, he would like be singing these jazz bass lines in his head, especially the pan songs. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, he's bad. And I think with the pan songs that he used to do, it was up my alley, you know, because of the different chord changes and stuff. Because sometimes as a musician, you get fed up of doing tunes with just 2 chords and 3 chords. Mm-hmm. So you want to take the music to a higher height and you want people to know how much you know musically.